This is the Kevin Trudeau Show. Worldwide at KTRadioNetwork.com. 888-99-KEVIN. This portion of the Kevin Trudeau Show is brought to you by Your Action Potential, the book that's inspiring readers across the world to reach new levels of health and success. Available for a limited time at kevinsbookclub.com.
We are back. I am going to be taking phone calls, so for those of you who are calling in, I appreciate you hanging tight, but I do have to finish up the story, then I will go to the phone lines. And I will take more phone calls tomorrow as well. But, in Peru, 13,000 feet above sea level, ancient ruins were found of a city containing blocks of granite, and it's a kind of granite that's actually the second hardest substance on planet Earth, the hardest being a diamond. Some of these blocks are 800 tons. The granite does not come from the local area. Researchers can't find where it came from. It's 13,000 feet above sea level, and it's almost vertical to get there. It's hard enough just to walk up with a backpack. Never mind carry an 800-ton block of granite from someplace. You physically can't get the granite blocks there. It's impossible. Even with today's helicopters, today's cranes, today's technology, listen to me again. It is physically impossible. Nobody can figure out in the engineering world how they would get the granite there. It's impossible. Number two, the granite has cuts, perfectly smooth cut. It has been cut. There's no question it has been cut. But the cuts are absolutely mathematically perfect. Today, with the most advanced laser cutting technology or diamond-tipped advanced cutting technology, you would be lucky to match the precision of the cuts in this granite. What that tells you, folks, is a man 2,000 years ago with a hammer and chisel did not build this. This was built by an advanced civilization or culture. And that means there's only two. There's no other explanation. There's only two. Either mankind was advanced while living on planet Earth and decided to leave the Earth or was wiped out by some, I don't know how an advanced civilization that advanced could accidentally catch a virus and everybody die or vanish without a trace. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But either A, there was some civilization on planet Earth. Some people say the Atlantean civilization. But if the Atlanteans were so advanced to be able to do this, they would know that a tidal wave is coming. Okay? They would have figured that out. I mean, it didn't just... There's something a little more to that. But either A, there was some advanced civilization here on Earth that had the technology, laser cutting technology, and technology that is far beyond what we have today. That's the key. Because this real evidence, this is hard evidence. This is tangible evidence. This is the smoking gun. This is the dead body with the bullet in it. A murder was committed. How do we know? Here's a person, and there's a bullet in it. As a matter of fact, it's a bullet in the back of his head and 10 other bullets. It ain't suicide. He was murdered. There's nothing else about it. Somebody shot the guy. He didn't dismember himself and stuff himself in a hefty trash bag. Okay? Not suicide, it's murder. What do we have here? A civilization that was created by some advanced technology, period. There's no other explanation, and why isn't it front page news? It is the first time we have the tangible evidence of an advanced civilization 2,000 years ago that's no longer here on Earth. And it either comes from another planet, or it was an advanced civilization that was, or maybe is still here, that we don't know about. But why would they be a secret? The point is, it's advanced technology. Second piece of hard evidence. A map was found. A real map. Again, we're not talking some drawing on a wall that could be interpreted 10 different ways. Oh, it looks like a spaceman. Well, maybe it's not, whatever. We're talking about tangible evidence here. This is tangible. There is a map, a real map that was found, that was made in the 1500s. We know why. It was dated. The guy who wrote it said, it's one I made. It's right on there, okay? Old map. We know. Categorically, evidence proven. The map has two interesting characteristics. Number one, the map has Europe, the Atlantic Ocean, and North America. Problem, and I said 1500s. I am mistaken. I'm sorry. It was several hundred years before Columbus discovered America. So this map goes back hundreds of years before America was discovered. So the first problem we have is, how come the North American continent is drawn on this map in precise detail when it didn't exist yet because the Earth was flat at that time, according to everybody who knew? Problem one. Problem two. The way that the continents are laid out are funny in terms of their proportion, but they mimic how the continents look from out of space. A spacecraft photograph of the Earth distorts the shape of the continents, because when you get a flat map, you're gaffing it up. Remember, the Earth is not flat. So you have to make the continents look a certain way on a flat map, but notice how they look on a round globe. And imagine the pictures from space, which we now have. All the continents look distorted because of the shape of the Earth. So if somebody gave you a photograph from outer space showing you the Earth, and you were then to just trace it, that's what this map looks like. Somebody traced a photograph of the Earth globe, and it matches it perfectly. How could they do that? Do you remember there were no planes then, and everybody thought the Earth was flat? Next problem. There is a continent on here that's also outlined. It's called Antarctica. Of course, Antarctica was not discovered at the time, number one. Number two, it's covered with ice. So how could you know what the landmass outline was? You couldn't. Think about it. Here's a map that's thousands of years old that shows the proportion in North America, Europe, the Atlantic Ocean, and Antarctica. And it is virtually an overlay of a shot from space in which somebody would trace it. That's how you get the exact proportions. It's perfect. And it shows Antarctica, the continent of Antarctica, perfect under the ice. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the answer is there is no other explanation other than an advanced civilization or life form was around at the time this map was made. And either that advanced civilization or advanced life form is from Earth and started here, or is from another planet. We can't guarantee it's from another planet, but we can guarantee one thing. There are advanced civilizations that were around thousands of years ago on planet Earth. The evidence is overwhelmingly clear because there is no other plausible explanation. And if someone can come up with some explanation, the easiest one, I mean, here's a map. If I take a photo from NASA and give it to you, and the photo is of the Earth, the globe, and it shows all the continents, and I say, just trace it on a piece of paper and make a map, it would duplicate this map. But when you take a photo, there are clouds, and so that may obscure some things. And Antarctica was under ice. So the photograph actually can't be a photograph. It's going to be almost an image using some advanced technology to go through the clouds and through the ice to give you the perfect outline of the continents and the continent of Antarctica. That's what this map is. It is perfect in detail. It isn't close. It's precise. Somebody traced a photograph that was taken from a spaceship using advanced photographic technology to give you the exact outline of Antarctica under the ice. That's what is in play. And my question to you is, why isn't this front page news? And since this data is now coming out, could it be that we're close to the governments of the world finally coming forward and saying to the world population that there are six friendly, advanced alien races that have visited and are with us on planet Earth. And there are several that aren't so friendly. And we, as a world, must come together. We must come together now without borders, without countries, without independent currencies and sovereignties. We must come together as the human race, bound together to protect our planet against unfriendly forces from other worlds.
Don't give in to them. The show they don't want you to hear will be heard again in mere seconds. The Kevin Trudeau Show, online at ktradionetwork.com.